Greetings, I'm LaShondra Little, Vice President of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. The purpose of our organization is to create awareness and facilitate support for various social issues and programs that are concerned to women in the South Metro region. The South Metro Democratic Women's Council is hosting a series titled Candidate Conversations. This series we're hosting multiple interviews with all of the eligible candidates within the 8 cities in the South Metro region. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Dr. Tara Miller from the City of Palmetto, who's a current council member seeking re-election. So to get us started, Dr. Miller, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Well, I am, of course, a citizen of Palmetto. I pretty much lived in Palmetto all of my life. I actually, not only did I not move, I chose to stay in Palmetto, and I have a company here, Integrated Concepts for Families, and they would provide individual, family, counseling services from anywhere from anger management to substance abuse to marital counseling. So those are a few things about myself. And of course, the main thing is that I am a servant. I'm a servant of my community. I've, of course, like I said, been in my community for a number of decades. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve. I'm here to make sure that, not only are you mentally healthy, but you're physically healthy and emotionally healthy. And that's what I do.
So tell the constituents and those who may not know much about you, a little bit about your platform and why you're seeking to run again.
Well, I've been in the office for 6 years. My initial platform stemmed solely around youth because we have so many different programs that cater to the older adult. But within our community, there were a lot of things that were lacking. So as far as the youth were concerned. So since that time, what we have done in moving towards that platform or fulfilling that platform is that we have acquired about 5 acres in the city of Palmetto that, we have not gotten everything completed, but we do have the land available in which we will put the actual family center on. And of course, that's one platform. And another major platform that I have deals directly with your overall health and wellness. That particular platform deals with healthy eating, healthy mental mindset, a healthy physical, disposition. So that physical component it's more along the lines of yoga. The eating, we have a community garden, and that's open to, again, everyone. We don't do farmers market or anything like that. You can come, you can plant your own food, you can pick your own food, and that's directly on Main Street. So I would say overall family is my platform. With family, I feel like we can move a mountain if you have your family, or whether it be blood related or chosen family. There's so many things that you can do with that. So my platform is overall family, not just family, but a healthy family.
Okay. And what makes you qualify for this role?
Qualifications. Number one, I don't want to say I'm a fighter, but I'm a go-getter. When I say a go-getter, I mean, if there's a need, you see a need, you meet a need. That was one of the models that I was brought up on. So that's what makes me qualified. I feel like when it comes down to our community, there are so many things that are needed that no one cares to ask for. So if you see a need, you meet a need. So that's what makes me qualified. I hear what you're saying. I hear what the constituents are saying. I hear what they're needing. And we have to figure out a healthy way to achieve that need, that request. Effective listening skills, role model within my community. And I think when we say role model, sometimes you see people that leave and then come back. No, we're going to be in the trenches together and we're going to come out of this together. So that's what makes me the right woman for the job.
So for the past going on 2 years now, we've been in the midst of a pandemic, fighting COVID-19. Are there any legislative priorities or things that you would support as it relates to the pandemic?
One of the supports, my main goal when it comes down to the legislative piece is making sure that we have the resources, not only just the resources, but the knowledge. I don't want to see people out here homeless. I don't want to see you out here hungry. If you decide that you want to get the vaccine, I want you to have access to that. If you decide that you don't want to get the vaccine, I still want you to have access to those herbal remedies that are still available, which is why we have the garden. We have herbal remedies in the garden. As a matter of fact, right next to the garden, we do have a vaccine station in which individuals can walk in and get the vaccine if that is your choice. Again, the resources, making sure that you don't go hungry. I partnered up with an agency not far from Palmetto who donated food for individuals who had a need. So just making sure that individuals are aware of the resources, making sure that individuals are aware that whatever you need, it's available. Don't be ashamed to ask. As a matter of fact, when I was putting the foods together, I didn't ask if you told me your name, we had a conversation, great. Whatever you needed, it was right here. And so I think those are, as far as legislative, that's what I want to see happen. Like if we have the resources, you have the questions, let's fulfill it.
And from I guess American Cares funding, does Palmetto receive some of that funding as well from the federal government?
We did, and that's how we were able to get some of that that vaccine out to the community for free before people were even getting it out. We were one of the initial stations that were set up in the area, in the South Fulton area.
Okay, great. So what can constituents expect from you if you are for reelection that they're not currently receiving from you right now?
Ooh, more of me. That's what I would say, more of me. One of the biggest things that I've tried to do is implement just different things. Like, again, see a need, meet a need. When I initially came, one of my first goals were to have a back to school program. I mean, a back to school event. Since that time, we've been doing it ever since that. We've been hosting that every year, making sure that when it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, that there's a hot meal on your table. If you need it, it's available. Just like, for example, last year we started a Stop the Violence movement, and that was very effective. We had a lot of people that came out that said, look, I don't want to see another loved one go away too soon. So with that, we started making sure, hey, we brought awareness to this particular area. It's no need for senseless violence. There's no need for violence at all. So before you even think about doing something, can we at least talk it out? So basically just more of me, more awareness in the community, making sure that if there is an issue that's taking place, if you tell me about it, we can resolve it. Mm-hmm. So just more of me.
What resources have you brought to the city since you've been in office? I know you spoke about wellness and gardening. What other resources have you brought in, and what resources would you look to bring to the city that may even including economic development and other resources to the city?
Well, economic development, let's talk about that. Of course, Palmetto is a growing community. However, one of the things that, even though when we think about growing community, we think about adults. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, we want to bring more families into the community. Well, I want more families to come into the community too, but I also want to make sure that I'm pushing the younger individuals into their dreams and their ambitions. So one of the things that I've done in the past is I created a program. I call it is a STEM program, but I added an extra E, and that's the entrepreneurial piece. So what I've done is I've created an environment where if kids are desiring to have their own business, let's talk about that. What type of business do you want? How can I help you get that? So with that, we started developing business plans, EINs, Secretary of State, logos, things of that nature, bank accounts. So with that, especially when you're talking about kids, you had to get the parents involved. Again, that family component, that platform. But so far, we have a lot of successful kids that are doing their thing, and they have not even gotten to middle school yet for some of them. So that's a component. I want Palmetto to grow, but I want you also to grow in a manner that's going to be conducive for our current citizens as well as those that are moving into the area.
That's good that you spoke about. That's conducive, because one of the things with the South Metro region right now is that for certain areas, we're starting to get a little bit boxed in with some of these warehouses. So I know there's been a big point of contention in certain cities. Do you have any thoughts about the warehouses that are popping up sort of in this region?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. We're faced with the same challenge, but one of the things that we're exploring now that we kind of have on the table is like various nature trails. We have warehouses, but what about getting back to nature? You see what I'm saying? So we've been exploring that possibility. We've also been exploring about building homes for those individuals that may want to move into a more, just a quiet area. So in addition to the warehouses, because yes, we're growing with those as well, we're also looking at the other component of still bringing families into the area. What's a warehouse if you don't have someone to work? And I don't want to have to drive 15 miles or 50 miles for a job, and I can go right here. I can live here and I can work here, which is the reason why I live here and I work here. So
So if people are looking to follow up with you or find out a little bit more about your campaign, how can they get in contact with you?
please, by all means, of course, I'm on Facebook now. Okay. So of course you can look me up at Tara Miller on Facebook. However, you can also email me at drmiller@ic4f.com. I have people reach out to me at any given time. And because I've been in the community all my life, you of course have family here. Believe me, if they call anyone, they can find Tara. Without social media, with the rotary phone, you can find me. Okay. But yeah, just email me at any given time.
Okay. Is there anything else as we're wrapping up that you would like for the constituents to know about you, why you're seeking re-election and why you're the best candidate for the job?
Well, I am seeking re-election because number one, I love my community. I love the individuals in the community. So love is what makes me the best candidate for the job. I'm passionate about what I do. I have vision, I have passion, and I have purpose. So when you vote for me, November 2nd, please understand that that's what you're getting. You're getting strong leadership, but not so strong that I can't listen. So not just strong, but effective. So that's why that's why I know that I'm the best person for the job.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this candidate conversation series with the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. These conversations, I think, are very vital to the community. They get to let the community know you a little better and know a little bit more about your platform and what you're going to do for the city. So we wish you best of luck in your future campaign.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.